Hi everybody, Al Bernstein here with another one of my video blogs. This one has to do with the upcoming match between Manny Pacquiao and Chris Algieri. Algieri has been given the Pacquiao fight after his very compelling win over Ruslan Provodnikov. A close fight to be sure, but one in which Chris Algieri showed not only ability as a boxer, but also grit and determination after having been knocked down twice at the beginning of the fight and suffering a terrible swelling over his right eye that would ultimately impair his vision to the point where he was probably only seeing out of one eye. And yet still, he was able to go the distance with big punching Provodnikov and in fact eke out a close and, in some people's minds, controversial decision. Since the announcement that Pacquiao would be fighting Algieri, there seems to have been a hue and cry from some fans, as if somehow this was inappropriate. I don't think it's inappropriate at all. Chris Algieri is a young fighter who has performed very well, who got the biggest match of his life, won it, and is now being rewarded. Now, if Ruslan Provodnikov had won the fight against Algieri, we wouldn't think it's weird that he's fighting Manny Pacquiao, but Algieri won that fight. And so the reward you get for winning a fight of that type is that you can move in and face even a bigger name fighter. I don't really see the issue here. Now, will it perform as a pay-per-view fight? Because Algieri is certainly lesser known in the boxing circles than the likes of a Provodnikov or other people that Pacquiao may have faced. Well, I don't know about that, and that's not really my main concern. I'm not the bean counter for Top Rank Boxing or for HBO or for anybody else associated with that match. I'm a person that covers boxing and I'm a boxing fan. And so for me, I think it's wholly appropriate that Chris Algieri gets the fight, and I think it is an interesting fight. I happen to believe that based upon what I've seen in terms of video beforehand and then in the Provodnikov fight, that Chris Algieri is the real deal. He's an excellent 140-pound fighter. Now, he'll fight Pacquiao to catch weight slightly above 140, but it's not going to be a huge weight up above it. So for me, this is interesting. For one thing, it's a fresh face. We've seen people complain about recycling the Bradleys and the Marquezes and the Alvarados and the Provodnikovs and the Rioses on the Top Rank side of things. And yet, even though they've complained about it, now they have a fresh face involved and they're complaining again. So in my mind, there's nothing wrong with this fight at all. The best thing, of course, will be when we hopefully see some fighters from both sides of the aisle, Top Rank and Golden Boy and or whatever other company emerges, when we see all of them fighting. But for right now, Chris Algieri is a fresh face. He is good by any standards, just based on the Provodnikov fight. And I personally think it'll be an intriguing matchup. And I believe he's going to be a test for Manny Pacquiao because he has length. He has terrific boxing ability, and I believe he would have done so much better even against Provodnikov had he not... Now, of course, it's part of the fight, and Provodnikov had a great first round, but if the swelling hadn't happened on his eye, it would have been interesting to see how well Algieri might have fared. So he's a very good fighter. Will he beat Manny Pacquiao? I don't know. But will it be a good fight? In my opinion, probably yes.